Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel New Networks. In this video, we are going to say a difference between a switch, a hub and a router. Now all three of these devices are similar, but there is a difference in the way they handle data. Hub. Let's start with the hub. The purpose of a hub is to connect all of your network devices together on an internal network. It is a device that has a multiple ports that accept Ethernet connection from network devices. So how hub operates? When a data packet arrives at one of the port of hub, it is copied to all other ports. So again, a data packet comes into one port, then the hub will just rebroadcast that data to every port that has a device connected to it. Now, hub is considered not to be intelligent because it does not filter any data or has any intelligence as to where data is supposed to be sent. And that's because the only thing a hub knows is when a device is connected to one of its ports. So let's understand the behavior of a hub by taking an example. If a computer A wanted to communicate with computer B, this other computers will still receive a data even though the data was not intended for them. So when this happens, it is not only creating a security concerns, but it also create unnecessary traffic on the network which waste the bandwidth. Switch. Switch is very much similar to a hub. It is a device that has multiple ports that accept Ethernet connection from network devices. So how switch operates? Switch learns the physical address and stores those physical address, also called as a MAC address, in its table. But unlike a hub, switch is intelligent. A switch can actually learn the physical addresses on the devices that are connected to it and store these physical addresses called MAC addresses also in its table. So when a data packet is sent to a switch, it is only directed to the intended destination port. So as an example, if computer A over here want to communicate with computer B over here, the data packet arrives at a switch and then a switch will look at its table of MAC address and the matching ports and deliver the data to the correct port. The data packet would only go to that particular computer. So that's a major difference between a hub and a switch. So as a result, switches are far more preferred over hub because they reduce any unnecessary traffic on the network. So let's understand the differences between the hub and switches. Hub only detects that a device is physically connected to it, whereas a switch can detect specific devices that are connected to it because it keeps a record of the MAC address of those devices. Hub operates at layer 1 of the OSI model. Switch operates at layer 2 of OSI model. So as a result, hubs and switches are used to exchange data within a local network, for example, such as your home network or in a business. They are not used to exchange data outside their own network, such as out of the internet, because to exchange or route data outside their own network to another network, such as out on the internet, a device need to be able to read IP addresses. And hubs and switches do not read the IP addresses. So that's where the router comes in. Router. Now router exactly does what its name applies. Now router does exactly what its name implies. A router is a device that routes or forward data based on their IP addresses. When a data packet is received from the router inspects the data IP address and determine if the packet was meant for its own network or if it's meant for another network. If the router determines that the data packet is meant for its own network, it receives it, but if it's not meant for its own network, it sends it off to another network. So a router is essentially the gateway of a network. So here we have a private network where its router with its router, and we will refer to this as the red network on the extreme left side. You can see it on your screen of the computer, and on other side you are going to have a different data packet indicated by different color which represent different IP addresses, and they are going to be entering the red network router from the internet. Now the router is going to accept the red data packet because there are only ones that are intended for this network. So all of the other data packets like the yellow, blue, green, etc. will be rejected by this router because they were not intended for this network, because their IP addresses were not meant for this network. Now here we will have expanded view of the routers over the internet. There are four networks over here indicated by the different colors, and each network has their own router along with their hubs or switches and their computers. So right now, as you can see, each network is just exchanging information within their own network. Their data is not going out on the internet, so they are not communicating with over other networks. They are exchanging data within their own network using the hub and the switch. So now let's go ahead and exchange the data between the different network. So let's say, for example, this computer over here in the red network, let me mark that. This computer, the red network, wants to communicate this computer in the blue network. So for this to happen, the data packet has to leave their own network and go out on the internet. Data packet has to leave this and go over the internet. So the computer sends their data and goes it to the network router. And once the data packet reaches the router, this router will look at the IP address of the data packet and then forward the data out on the internet to the next router that then make it a way to the blue network, this blue network router, and then to have the intended destination computers. So in this case, if the red network want to reach to red network computer, this computer wants to reach to the computer in the blue network, data packet will be reaching till its own router. This router will forward it to this router. This router will check its own check the IP address table, and then it will see that to reach this particular computer in the blue network, the data packet should be forwarded to this router. It will reach over here, and then using the IP address table, this particular router will send the data packet coming from the red to this over here in the blue network. So this is how a router works. In the conclusion, hub and switches, we can say that hubs and switches are used to create a network, while routers are used to connect the networks. This is all about the hubs, routers, and switches, how they operate, what are the difference in the working functionalities. So guys, if you like my video, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching my video. See you in the next video.